Way now over to the Ice Palace, Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, this is some serious divergence. The seed really opened up, especially with that early boots and bow. And in fact, we have some Dark World access if the runners want to go there. It'll be interesting to see. Ooh, Wes is doing the mushroom turn-in.
Red Boomerang.
And looks like Ravis is fake flippering around to also do the mushroom turn-in. While 1-Up's taking advantage of the boots to do a water walk there. Nothing in the waterfall. And we don't have nearly enough money for Zora, but 1-Up's gonna check the Zora ledge item in any case. Oh!
Mirror. I like that.
Yeah, 1-Up's gonna circle around and grab that. It does orphan Zora, but that mirror could be important. Oops, 1-Up lost his water walk, and now he's trying to splash delete to get down to get that mirror.
Ravis did the hula hand glitch. I got a save and quit on 1-Up saves and quits on that.
But he does have that piece of information, so I'm sure he's going to make a beeline for Zora as soon as he finds the flippers.
Right.
Oh, and our tracker's nicely telling us that Desert was a crystal and Hera was a pendant. I totally missed that.
Right.
So thanks to our trackers for keeping up with the technical difficulties and being on top of everything here. And we get a Dark World check. I saw a 5-6 in Ice and a green pendant in Mire. I did not see where the other pendant was.
Neither did I. I saw the same exact information as well. Ravis also doing his South Shore, working on his South Shore check now.
Looks like our tracker is telling us that Turtle Rock was the remaining pendant, so everything else is a regular crystal.
Once again, a seed where we're not required to go into Turtle Rock.
Potentially a seed where we don't need any medallions.
One up taking a death.
Yeah, took the death warp for the heart refill. Ooh, Alhado having a bit of trouble with Armos Knights today. And just gets the map, but does get the first crystal of the game 18 minutes and change in.
And one up finding the lamp.
Well, that's our fire source too for the time being.
Right.
And given that we don't have the hammer, Kakariko Portal is the runner's only Dark World access, so I imagine a lot of them will wind up in the Skullwoods vicinity and get that lamp at some point relatively soon.
And Ravis going over to Zora area. He's going to be happy to see that mirror hanging on that ledge.
Yeah, but let's see if he can get it.
Right.
He does have Zora money, though, so we'll also find out what Zora himself has. One-Up's giving us a tour of the village of outcasts. Ravis is turning up his nose in disgust at that heart container. Just wasted 500 rupees on a heart container and not having any of it.
Nope.
And One-Up's already in Thieves Town. Couldn't go to the back of Skull Woods because no fire rod. Oh, and we have our second fetch quest item of the game, the shovel.
Well, there's our fire rod.
Well, I guess you can go back and complete Skull Woods now.
Yep.
Though, you know, fighter sword, 6 hearts, and green mail is not necessarily how you want to beat Mothula.
Right.
Looks like Ravis really wants that mirror. He's set up the water walk again and is trying to circle around for it.
And
It would
pulls
give
it
us
off.
access. Oh, sorry, you were saying?
Ravis pulled it off.
Yeah. It does give us extremely out of logic access to Tower of Hera. Ravis doing King's Tomb. Have we seen that yet?
No, we saw the other side.
Just some bombs.
Shield on the island on Lake Hylia.
I don't think they'll be going back for that.
Nope.
And I wasn't counting items in Thieves Town. I know we saw 2 in the form of the shovel and the fire rod, but I don't know.
Small key in the chest in blind.
Right, so the question is there an item or a dungeon item in the big chest which we can't get at because we don't have the hammer?
Right.
Ravis is too poor to play the chess game. You don't see that very often.
So there must be another item in the big chest because we got the compass.
Yeah, and 1 angry slash from 1 up, so that's an orphaned item. Which the runners are probably hoping is not important. What's the brewery got today? Another piece of heart.
Mate, one up making their way over to the race game now.
This seed is definitely a puzzle. The missing hammer is kind of a big deal.
Right.
And we'll also see if the out-of-logic mirror winds up doing anything for Ravis, because he'll be able to check things like Cave 45 and Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, we're getting a Stumpy has the flu.
Interesting, and with the early gloves, that does make for Mire area access. Oh, and Ravis is saying no thank you to the back of Thieves Town without the hammer, so he's gonna wait until he has the hammer to go back and find out what's in the big chest while beating blind at the same time.
Right, but we are getting a hype cave check.
Master Sword's nice.
Definitely. Bombs. 50 rupees. Cannon Brian and a heart contain and a piece of.
Yeah, that Master Sword definitely made it worthwhile, though.
Definitely. Oh, Raven's taking the blacksmith back.
Yeah, remember, this is out of logic, but if it's an important item in here, that could either help or hinder Ravis, depending whether it lets him get ahead or takes him in the totally wrong direction. Actually, no, it's not out of logic, it's just expecting a save and quit, so for any other runner, it would be more trouble than it's worth.
Then he finishes up the last part of that, picks up the lunchbox.
So Ravis will also be making a stop at Cave 45 here. Looks like 1-Up's going to activate the flute.
Big 20 in K40.
Oh, and Ravis with the mirror is also going to be able to check that shovel spot.
Right. Oh,
There is
there's
our...
the hammer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, didn't break logic, but sure made it a lot easier to find, picking up the hammer and the flute at the same time.
I think he just gave up on the purple chest.
No, there's a glitch he's going to take advantage of where if you mirror within sight of Gary, the purple chest reappears.
Okay.
See? It was only a big 20, though. So 1UP now doing Eastern Palace fully in logic. Saves a little bit of time because even a really good runner can't do a dark room as fast as a runner with a lamp can do a dark room.
Right.
So Alhado and Wessie are both getting their shovels out of Thieves Town now, and it'll be an interesting question to see when these other three runners decide to actually use that shovel.
Ravis making their way over to the pyramid lead. Let's see if the pyramid has anything good for us today, or if it's a bust. It's a bust. 20 rupees.
But with that hammer and that bow, Ravis can full clear Pod, and it looks like he's going to do that. He won't have his light source, but he's good enough to do the dark rooms. Again, it would have, saved him several seconds to have that lamp, but he decided to skip Skull Woods for the time being.
Wait, but he does have the fire rod, so he can light up the way in the dark night.
And in the Terrapin room, which is a really nasty room if you don't have a light source.
And he just picked up the ice rod as well.
So what do we even need at this point? We need flippers and hookshot for Swamp.
Right.
We only need Cane of Samaria if the big T is on the right side of Ganon's Tower. We're actually getting pretty close to no mode. Though I'm sure the runners wouldn't mind seeing another sword upgrade or silver arrows.
Right.
So probably for peace of mind, the runners are hoping that Cane... Well, on the one hand, it's nice if the Cane shows up before you're in go mode, and then you don't have to worry about what if the big key's right side GT. On the other hand, that then potentially makes Turtle Rock accessible, and you don't want to have to dive Pendant Turtle Rock if you can help it. So the best possibility is probably Cane of Samaria and Hope Room. So let's see how far Wessie goes into Skull Woods, because he actually has that fire rod, but he has 7 hearts and fighter sword and green mail, which is not a great way to face Mothula. Ravis found an early Big Key in Pod, so he's gonna defeat Helmasaur before finishing up the back of Pod. Makes sense, because if Helmasaur has an item, then you can know a bit earlier if you've found all the items, and use that nice stolen mirror to get out of the dungeon in a hurry.
Definitely, and then he'll probably warp over and do Eastern Palace right after that.
Ravis needs to watch his health, though. He's in the dark with 2 hearts.
Alright, one up finally picking up their hammer.
And Wessie about to drop into Moth with 2 hearts. Let's wish him luck here. He does have plenty of magic, though, so if he can land some good fire rod shots, he should be okay. No.
Ravis using burnish strats on Hummus.
Interesting.
And a piece of heart.
Alhado dropped in with 4 hearts, but he's now down to 1. Still has a bit of magic. Doing some spin attacks with the... Oh no, he doesn't get through either. But yeah, even if Ravis only found a piece of heart on Helmasaur, that is 1 fewer item that he needs to find in the back.
Right, and he's going to go take care of that right now. Setting to the back side of Pod. While Wes, well, retries the Mothra fight, one up doing the Houlihan glitch. And Wes takes another death to Mothra.
Yeah, these runners would be in a little bit better shape if they went to Hype Cave and got their Master Sword, but they're kind of sticking in this area. Olhado's actually given up on it. I don't know if we saw this chest from Olhado. Of course it's a key. Oh, I just realized that his name is West Side Vandal. Count me slow on the uptake.
Nah. Alright, so Ravis gonna go do working on Eastern Palace now. Work from taking care of.
Well, Hado's picking up the smith, and he's going to take him on a world tour since he doesn't have the mirror. But he will be getting his flute shortly. And West takes another death trying to get the statue on the switch. Which was always something I hated doing as a kid. I was not good at dragging it there.
Nope.
Thank you for your salutes to the duck. Still need to drop off that blacksmith, and hopefully Alhado will go grab his hammer after this. Looks like that's what he's doing, because I don't know why else he'd go this way. We still don't know where those flippers are, though. Which means that while Ravis is able to get to East Death Mountain with the mirror and the hammer, it would be completely out of logic. Let's see what Ravis does releasing that duck, though. Alhado's going to show us my area.
And what? And West goes back into Thieves Town. Blue boomerang on the desert ledge.
Alhado's a bit indecisive here. Raves is going to be able to do this more efficiently with that mirror. Did you see what the Meyer medallion was? That was just way too quick a check from both of them.
Yeah, that was way too quick. I only caught like a piece of it.
Our tracker's saying Bombos.
Well, there's the flippers. Flippers are in Meyer's shed.
Okay, so we are potentially a hook shot away from go mode. Ravis grabbing the boomerang to help with menuing. And he does have the ability to beat Desert, so he's going to do it while he's here. Also 2 items in Desert, which may or may not be useful.
Grabs the all-important key off the torch.
But assuming we haven't found the hook shot, the moment of truth is going to come when Ravis or 1UP go...
When Ravis and...
Wait a minute, is Ravis the only one who didn't go into Thieves Town without the hammer?
Right.
Or rather, he went to the front, but then quit out.
He did the front, quit it out, and said, nope, I'm not going to do this without the hammer.
So we have 4 runners in 3 different dungeons right now. Nice fire rod dash by Ravis. Oh, and West takes a death to blind. That half magic is proving really useful for Ravis on that landmill fight.
Definitely, and you might not, and just the map from the landmill fight.
He has the mirror out, so he's probably going to check checkerboard.
Yep.
And then maybe do a Gina.
Oh.
Meanwhile, 1UP's going to do Catfish here.
Pack of 10 hours in Checkerboard Cave.
Wait, did Ravis already do a Gina, or did he just skip it altogether?
I believe he just skipped it and warped right back up to Death Mountain.
Interesting.
Maybe it was item counting?
I mean, the items in caves don't relate to the items anywhere else. He needs that hookshot one way or another.
Oh no, I was talking about with the items in desert. I think he was
Oh,
item
in terms
count.
of why I didn't go back into desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume he was item counting. He is giving us our first look at East Death Mountain. Where did 1UP get that bottle from? I missed it, but we got our look at Sick Kid and it was just a piece of heart.
I have I did not see him pick it up. The 40 rupees in the bottom part of Paradox Cave.
By the way, shout-outs to our trackers, MD and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, for keeping on top of all of these items for us.
Not that much good items in Paradox.
Okay, Wes is returning the smith now, so hopefully he'll go get his hammer after this. And Olhado takes another death.
Meanwhile, Ravis teleports over to the Dark World to check out the Dark World version of East Death Mountain, going into the Super Bunny Cave. And one up doing a Spike Cave.
Yeah, Cane of Burner and Half Magic does make it nice and easy there. But nothing in Spike, nothing in Super Bunny. Oh, unfortunately, Wes is going back to the Dark World.
Well, there's our hook shot.
Okay.
It's in the hook shot cave.
Yeah, so Jeeves is a witch and we can burn them.
And Ravis also picks up his bottle as well.
So Ravis is now in 17-20 seconds of go mode. At this point, you basically play like you're in go mode, check chests that are right along the way, hoping that the cane turns up and you don't have to think about it anymore. And otherwise, go to GT and hope the big key isn't cane locked.
Right.
And as chat points out, even if you did have the cane, you'd still open some chests along the way, hoping to find another sword or silver arrows, because Silverless Ganon Master Sword is not a pleasant fight. One Up trying to be the first of our runners to actually take down Mothula, and he succeeds.
Piece of heart for the trouble.
But hey, at least he and Ravis have filled up. But no, Ravis has filled up his first row. One Up still hasn't quite filled up his first row. So it's a bit of a health poor seed, especially since we're still on green mail. Oh, and Wes is so focused on that purple chest that he still hasn't picked up his hammer. Come on, Wes, you need that hammer.
Uh,
Meanwhile, we're finally going to... No, Ravis is not going to check that big chest. I was going to say we'll finally find out what's in the big chest, but...
and we get trolled by not knowing what's in the big chest.
Chat reminding us in the event that we don't find any more sword upgrades or the silver arrows, it takes 52 spin attacks to defeat Ganon with Master Sword Silverless.
So Raiders picking up their 4th crystal.
So Alhado doing the Zora check, he will get his mirror, which is locking the hook shot because to get to East Death Mountain, where the hook shot is, you need either mirror plus hammer or hook shot. And the hook shot can't lock itself, so you need mirror plus hammer. Now, hopefully, One-Up with his flute will grab those flippers soon because he knows that the mirror's there and that he's gonna need to get it.
Right. Wes doing his Zora check.
Unfortunately, he does not have the flippers, so he knows about the mirror, but is frustrated. I don't think he knows splash deletion. He's trying it. Let's see if he can pull it off. Nope, didn't work. The short of splash deletion, by the way, is if you can get enough things on the screen in the right way at the right time, and then you jump in the water, the game is so busy with all the other items that it forgets to give you a splash. And if you don't have a splash entering the water, well, you're not in the water, so you can block as though you're not in the water. So Ravis has grabbed his 5th crystal from Mothula. One-Up finally gets his flippers. So he'll be off to get his mirror next. Which is also our only Desert Palace access because we have no idea where the book is. So Alhado is doing those Hera checks that Ravis skipped.
Right. And right now, it looks like everyone's just crisscrossing everyone else's paths, right?
Well, Ravis is going to show a swamp palace for the first time.
Right. And he's just looking for the red cane.
Yeah, and he's not going to do left side looking for it. The only question is how many of the checks that are reasonably on the way is he going to do? And the fact that he doesn't have bombs out, yep,
Right.
he's skipping that first chest. So Alhado's doing his East Death Mountain checks, which will eventually conclude with him getting the hook shot and being in mostly go mode. Speaking of hookshot, Ravis is already in the back of Swamp. And Wes is going to take another try at Mothula. Unfortunately, Wes hasn't checked Catfish, though he had no access over there until he just recently got the hammer, but
Right.
would have been nice to have that red goo. He'd be in a much better position here. One heart. No.
Is it on the other side?
So our two left side runners are about even with each other, other than one up has one more crystal, but they're both in the same place and both about to get that hook shot shortly. And Ravis is going to try some Ice Rod strats on Argus. Works quite well. For the powder, which means Magic Bat is now in play. I don't think Ravis is going to check it, given how he's skipping locations and just hoping he doesn't need the Cane of Samaria, but it'll be nice to powder anti-fairies. And yes, for the moment at least, Ravis is going straight over to Ice Palace, get his final crystal.
Right.
We never did see Hobo, did we?
Hobo, I believe, was money.
Oh, okay. So there's Olhado's pseudo-go mode.
And West picking up their bombs from Seems to.
Oh, and West going to the pod area, which is unfortunate just because we know where the flippers are, and pod's a lot easier if you have that mirror. Without the mirror, you definitely want to take the route of beating Helmosaur first and then doing the items in the back so you could just save and quit afterwards. Ravis lining up the Ice Palace bomb jump, having a bit of trouble with it. Oh, Wes was 3 rupees short of bribing Kiki.
Ouch!
That's the second time this race we've seen a runner go into a place and not realize they didn't have enough rupees.
Ravis pulling off the very tricky Ice Palace bomb.
But Wes did get 20 rupees off an enemy, so now he'll be able to pay up.
So
Now I was realizing... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, not knowing where this red cane is, this is probably one of the big puzzles of the game.
Yeah, I was realizing, though, that one place it can't be is Turtle Rock. No matter what happens, we will not be seeing Turtle Rock this race.
Right. And that's a good thing. No one wants to go through that dungeon anyhow.
Right, and the runners probably knew when they got that early Ice Rod in Sahastra's closet that Turtle Rock was not going to be in play.
Yep. I remember you saying the other night that if it's both rods are in the front early part of the game, Turtle Rock is normally a pendant dungeon.
It does sure feel that way. Ravis using a combination of Master Sword and Fire Rod strats on Cold Stare, and he gets all 3 puffs.
And a map.
And Olhado is doing Fire Rod strats on Lanmo, taking a few cycles but gets them down. Again, half magic really coming in handy there for both of those runners.
So, with that...
Yeah, you see some numbers showing up in chat. This is going to be interesting, though, because if you're putting a number higher than 17, that means you think that we're going to need to go on a Samaria hunt.
I'm going to say 13.
I'll go with 8. I want to see something nice.
Right, watch it be like...
Actually, I'm going with 8 because I usually get 10, and the only time it's in 10 is when I don't guess it. So the fact that I guessed 8 means it's probably in 10.
So the way this seed kind of worked out there, Ravis is kind of... Excuse me, there. Ravis is kind of in go mode. I say, but not fully in go mode.
Yeah, and our two runners on the left are in the same situation. Also, it looks like Wes doesn't know pod key logic because he got a key for a key out of Harmless Hellway.
And Wes picked up the cape. So
But
do we
runs
go...
into some Dodongo fire before he can check Big Chest.
So we're going right side fire. Right side GT.
Big 20 and a small key for our first two items. On the torch, we have a heart container.
Which he's going to pick up.
I don't blame him, it's only his 11th and he's still on green mail. So now in Stalfos room 4 is a small key, 5 is bombs, 6 is a big 20, 7 is a Fisher-Price shield. 10 more checks we can do before we're on a Samaria hunt. Oh, there's an... Yeah. That's the third bottle we've seen, though Ravis is second. There was one at Catfish and one in Hookshot Cave.
And we're down to 8 chests before we go on a red cane.
9.
Or not.
And number 9 is a small key. Ravis is assuming he's gonna find it because he's trying to get rid of his bombs, which runners do down here because it makes for easier menuing up top. But he gets more bombs back and arrows. There's blue mail, though. That's nice to see.
Alright.
Except we're now 13 chests in and still no big key.
Now he's got to start to be wondering where that big key is, or do I warp out now and go in a red cane?
Well, I mean, you gotta finish checking everything you can in here.
Right. Oh,
there it is! 14. Did anyone guess 14?
I was 1 all.
Yeah, I don't see any 14, so you and the other people who guessed 13 and 15 are the closest. But we are still on Master Sword Silverless, so we'll see how many chests Ravis opens upstairs to see about a sword upgrade or a bow upgrade.
Right.
And Olhado just took down Argus for his 5th crystal. West takes down Moth for his 4th crystal, so things are coming along for most of our runners. One Up is now going to Desert via Meyer to get his 7th crystal. You know, given that the big key was available, it's even theoretically possible that the Cane of Samaria is in one of the upstairs chests in GT. Or the big chest.
True.
Rave is having a bit of trouble with Lanmo there.
That gets the kill.
Poor
Nice.
Wes is going everywhere except the mire area to get his flippers. Though he is going to at least get a bottle out of this. And now we see one of the other side effects of not having the cane, that these Wizrobe rooms are a little bit longer to get through.
Right.
Ravis with just enough magic to get through that room. Grabs the full refill in there.
Siki giving Wes a piece of heart.
If you noticed Ravis walking around a little bit before he went upstairs, that's because he's waiting for the door to close, because if you go upstairs on the same frame where the door closes, you despawn the rest of the dungeon and have to mirror out. So nothing doing upstairs so far. One last chance after Moldorm, and other than that, we're doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
Nice quick kill on Moldorm. We're doing that.
Yeah, the map of all things.
I wonder where Ganon hit those silver hours to.
Well, he'll tell us.
Yeah. But first, time to deal with Geometry Wizard. And Rice gets off a nice double there.
Did Wes have a power failure or something? Because I noticed he did a hard reset, and I thought he had beaten Mothula.
No, he beat Mothula.
Then why is he going back here, and why is
Oh,
it
no.
not in his tracker?
Oh, no, wait. Weiss kept dying to Mothula.
Yeah, I thought he finally went in there and beat him, though. Oh, no. Chat saying he died again.
Yeah.
And welcome everyone coming over from Speed Gaming 2. The big story of this seed, it's Samarialus.
And Ravis doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon. One up next to enter GT's tower. Ohado picking up their 6th crystal.
Yeah, Ohado still needs to go back to Skullwoods. where he can high-five Wes. And Wes did come prepared with blue goo this time. Unfortunately, this game is so well designed that if you hit Mothula into the spikes, he doesn't actually take damage, but there we go.
And down goes Martha. Ravis on the third form of Ganon.
So we're about to get the Silver's hint. Light World. Well, we never saw Magic Bat.
Maybe on Ped.
Could be. Magic Bat, Ped, one of the tablets.
Oh no, it can't be on Ped. Because she...
Why not? Silvers can be anywhere.
Oh, right. I'm thinking of Red.
But Rave is doing a very nice job here so far.
No, I was thinking of Red Cane. But yeah, Silvers could be on Ped. It could have been on any one of the tablets.
Some of the mirror checks, like, we never saw Graveyard Ledge, I don't think.
No.
I think that's it. Magic Bat, Ped, the tablets, and Graveyard Ledge. Actually, just Bombo's tablet, because Ether tablet, he would say Death Mountain. So 1-Up is gonna be very happy right now.
And Ravis takes down the pig at 1 hour 20 minutes. Get your GGs in chat.
Yeah, so Ravis crosses that bridge with an official SRL time of 1:20:44, and not just the first runner on the restream, but the first runner overall. So GG's to him.
Triforce giving us a message from Mario, but the princess is in another castle.
And we have Ravis joining us. GG.
GG.
Well, Ravis, you finished first overall in this entire race.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that out of logic mirror wound up being a big help to you.
Yeah, I assumed though, like when you get mid Dark World access, you really want to have the mirror in the first place.
Yeah, so you were able to do Smith Chain much more easily and do the shovel check well before anyone else.
Yeah, I think the shovel is the big thing there. So, yeah, I don't say. That was insane.
I mean, some of the other runners.
Well, we found the red cane.
Oh my!
It was in the big chest. In
Where?
the
No way!
big chest.
I was thinking about that. Like, just check it. Like that hammer was really hard to access. Oh my god! I would have bitten in my butt if that would have been like necessary. Oh my god! Holy smokes!
You were also the only one of our restreamed runners who waited to do the back of Thieves Town until you had the hammer. But then you decided not to check that chest, hoping you wouldn't need the cane.
Yeah, I mean, at that point I was like, all right, I don't want to lose by 5 seconds. If I'm losing by Samaria, well, that's unlucky. But you know, this is a daily race. Got to take some risks. I wanted to go up Death Mountain earlier, but I knew, all right, I need the flippers to make the mirror and logic, or if the flippers are up there, then I need the hook shot. to make the flippers in logic. So I waited for one item. I found the flippers. I was like, all right, check the mirror stuff here. Go Death Mountain. Hope for the best. And I was like, there's no way Hookshot is gonna be in Hookshot Cave. And I freaked out. Like I didn't show it on stream, but I was really freaking out. I was like, dude, can't be happening. Can't be the case. And that bottle in Hookshot Cave as well. Holy crap.
Yeah, because you never checked Catfish. That was where most of the runners got their first bottle.
Oh, I see. Well, there was no reason for me to do that.
Right. There wasn't. I'm just saying that most of them went there
So-
earlier.
So, how about that double boots lock bows? Like,
Yeah.
that was funny. I was like, oh dang, the boots gave me the bow. Well, maybe I still should check maybe what's on Lumberjack. And I was like, what? Wait, what? Another bow? Oh, okay.
Oh, that's where the silvers were.
Yeah,
So we actually had some technical issues early in the race, and so we
Oh.
never saw what was on Lumberjack.
Yeah, Lumberjack had the other bow.
Okay.
That's why the boots unlock both bows actually in this seat.
So you knew it was going to be silverless.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that pretty much from the beginning. Like, yeah.
Yeah, wow, no, because I went back and checked some VODs to, see what the major items were in Kakariko and stuff, but I didn't think to check anyone's check of Lumberjack, so we never found out what was there.
Well, if you don't know, now you know.
Yep, okay, so yeah, you were really just hoping for a sword upgrade then, which would have made
Yeah,
things
for
easier,
sure. I
but-
wanted to have a sword upgrade. I mean, a lamp would have been nice as well. But if not, well, gotta risky. You gotta go risky. I mean, that seed was interesting in its own. So there was nothing in Pod, nothing in Eastern. I think the only dungeon item we actually had was the shovel that led into the hammer. You could have go moded any other dungeon. Although to be fair, Desert Palace, the way you would check it, you would always get both items before the big key. So
The fire rod was also in the front of Thieves Town.
oh, you're right. All right. So yeah, never mind. I'm done.
But yeah, the front, basically the front of Thieves Town, and you could have theoretically go moded everything else.
Yeah. I really wanted to go mod Skullwood specifically. Like, I didn't dip there the first time, and then I was so close to go, and I was like, okay, if I can skip any chest there, then that would be super amazing for me. And turned out to be the case. Very nice.
By the way, 1UP is now facing Ganon, still on phase 1.
So, where was the lamp?
Skull Woods.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
And by the way, we only have one other finisher so far. Dragon Strike 1988 came in about a minute after you at 121.58.
Yeah, that is my
And
teammate, by
it's-
the way, for the league. So, pretty cool.
Nice. So you guys are well positioned then.
I hope we're not using all of our luck and skills right now, and then when the league comes, well, we will see.
No, we don't actually have a casual mode for the league anyway. We're doing Ambrosia instead.
Yeah, I mean, that's casual enough with the weird. The boss has a guaranteed item stuff, which I am not able to get into my head.
Well, I mean, you were taking kind of that approach anyway with checking Helmasaur before doing the rest of Pod.
It made sense simply. Like, you have to go to the boss anyway, and why would I, like, let's say I find one of the 2 remaining items I needed at that point, I think. Then I would probably still continue in the bag, but if I find one of the 2 items on the boss, which I always have to do in the first place, then I can mirror out if I find the second item. Of course, this is so unrealistic, but stranger things have happened, so gotta take that time. Or
Yeah,
rather time
no, it
save.
makes total sense. And other runners did the same thing. And by the way, 1UP is now on phase 4 of Ganon. So, having a pretty good time of the sword spins here. But that half magic really helped all you guys out a lot, by the way.
That was the thing that made me comfortable going into GT. This and the bottle, to be honest. Like, you have basically 4 magic meters. I for some reason I didn't realize that I did not hold the wall while the Ganon fight was still going on, so I had to use the blue goo. But in the end, it didn't matter anyway. But yeah, that's okay. It feels just good when you can kind of play a little bit more aggressive because you know you have some kind of a safety like half magic or a bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, knowing that you have plenty of magic to use on Master Sword Silverless Ganon makes it a lot better. And speaking of which, 1UP 40 takes down Ganon.
GG.
So get your GGs in for him.
Well, the one thing I was concerned about without having half magic, or would have been concerned, would have been the torches in GT, because with Master Sword there's no really good way to kill all these enemies, and then when you don't have a lamp like I had in my position, it's really like tough to handle your magic with just only a Master Sword against landmaw and stuff. So that really came in to help.
So 1UP finishes second on our restream and 5th overall with an official SRL time of 1:29:29. Yeah, 1UP actually saw that mirror early, tried to do splash deletion. He'd lost his water walk and couldn't get the splash deletion going, so he had to come back for it later. And that wound up making, the 9 minutes difference between you guys.
Yeah, similar to me. I mean, I was really thinking about, all right, what do you do with your waterwork? Do you save it? Do you just use it to save some time? Okay, let's just hold on for it right now. And then it didn't work for me as well, so I had to save and quit and get that mirror again. But yeah, that mirror with mitts again, I can only recommend that. This is an additional time you have to do, but you want to go there at some point anyway, because it's very unrealistic that the mirror is not unlocking anything or is simply not needed for anything. And yeah, it just made sense. And when I saw the hammer and all the good things behind it, I was like, dude, that was a magical play.
And given where the hookshot was, the mirror was absolutely required for hookshot as well.
Yeah. I mean, we had Swamp to do anyway, which was pretty good for that reason. But yeah, as you said, the hookshot was hard mirror locked. So I'm looking at the restream right now. So we did not find any other sword. Wow.
Yeah, none of our runners have shown us any further swords. And we're joined by 1UP, GG.
GG 1UP.
Thanks.
Ah, there you are.
Greetings, everyone.
So what are your thoughts on that caneless Master Sword Silverless Seed?
Yeah, the cane especially, like, it didn't even enter my mind that, there's 4 chests, well, I guess 5 chests in GT blocked by the cane until, like, I got to the Hope Room, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get to the right side. I really hope the big key's not over there.
Yeah.
not showing up, and I'm like, oh, no.
You want to know where it was?
Yeah, where was it?
Thievestown Big Chest.
Oh. Yeah, I have a feeling probably not too many people got that because you would have had to double dip, I think, right?
Yes, you would have.
Yeah.
Because the shovel was in the front and then the hammer was at the dig spot.
And so I guess the other thing was you saw that mirror, you tried to go for it, you couldn't quite get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. I tried for it twice and neither time I was able to quite get it. The first time I just wasn't thinking and put the bombs down in the water, which even though I was water walking, the bombs don't water walk. So
Yeah.
they just kind of go splish and then they don't really help with the splash deletion after they splish.
And by the way, Ohado is now on Ganon, and Westside Vandal just hit his go mode with that hook shot. But yeah, you're still sub 130, which is great.
Yeah, it would have been nice to find at least a sword, if not silvers.
Wait, you don't know where the
Yeah.
servers were?
World. I don't know if that was like maybe graveyard.
All right, I guess you never checked Lumberjack.
Oh. Yeah, that was a thought in the back of my mind at one point when I was getting low on checks. Yeah, like usually I put it off with boots, but then just the way it worked out with the real early boots, like I went over to check back of escape because I never got any bombs. And I never really got a chance to head over to Lumberjack.
Makes sense.
But yeah, you guys both, did a fine job with Silverless Fight. Well, Hado, by the way, now on phase 2, found Ganon in a corner, which is great. You can do 2 spins at once. So yeah, I realized that all 4 of you have signed up for the league, so I guess this is part of your practice for that.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a few more races in lately to get back in the randomizer mode.
Kind of, yes. Kind of not. First of all, I like the dailies in general. But I took a couple of days off because I got frustrated with the game recently, and I decided at the earlier daily to just play to get it at least not too rusty. Then I won that as well, and I was like, alright, I might play this one again. So I can't believe I got the double today. And yeah, but just a bit of not being rusty. I mean, we have such different modes than, casual or I think, yeah, we still have open, but, cross keys and randomizer and stuff is so much different. So
Yeah, we're going to try to get some of those modes into the daily races to help runners who want to prepare for them.
Yeah, that sounds like it'll be fun.
I'm sure one of us is going to agree when I say daily races are still a little bit different than the regular one-on-one races, since if you want to win a daily race, you have to take certain risks. Like, for example, I didn't do digging game and certain other stuff. I played kind of aggressive. If you don't do that, you're probably gonna end up second or third, or maybe even worse, because one will probably get that big route and it's gonna win. And in a 1v1, you're more or less, well, full clearing is maybe is a little bit of a hard term, but at least you will check more, because if you lose an item and you get second, you're second, and second means last place in a 1v1. So kind of have to play a little bit more safe, I would say.
Yeah, 1v1 is certainly, yeah, there's a bit more strategy, it seems like, that goes into it, kind of, like knowing your opponent, trying to figure out, like, how much of an execution difference there's going to be, and what you're going to have to do to either make that up or whatever.
And also knowing what your
opponent
opponent
strategy
likes.
that goes into it.
Yeah, also knowing what your opponent likes to do and what he maybe or she dislikes to do is a specific factor for your routing and stuff.
Oh, Hado, this is interesting, is using lamp strats in Phase 4 despite having the half magic. And having gotten the torch glitch.
Playing safe, probably.
Yeah, it never hurts, especially when you don't have any green potions to refill with. I know,
That's
I
true.
was surprised just how low I was getting on magic too. I was actually starting to get a little concerned near the end because I think I only had about 2 or 3 fire rod shots left.
I know at least one of you went to the potion shop and bought something.
I did. Because I had no lamp.
Oh, right. You
I
had to do fire rod strats.
Yeah. I needed to use the blue goo on Morphula. I was so mad that Morphula like behaved like, oh my god, I don't know what happened. But
And get your
anyway.
GG's in for Hado, who finishes 3rd on our restream, 12th overall, official SRL time of 1:39:04. So let's get him in here too. Hey,
GG,
Ohado,
Ohado.
GG's.
Yo, GG's, guys.
GG.
GG's, dude.
So, your thoughts on that seed?
Well, it seemed like it was a pretty friendly seed overall, but, you know, I took an early death on Mothula, and I just decided immediately, no, I'm not trying that again right now. And then from there, it was like continuing to not get red cane. I just kept like praying in the back of my mind. It's like, I'm gonna go for it. I need to make up time. Hoping I didn't need it in the end.
Yeah, would you like to know where it ended?
I would love to know.
Big chest in Thieves Town.
Oh my god. I was not gonna go back there, even if I had to go hunting for it for a long time. That's
yeah, West Side Vandal was the only one who went for it. Ravis was in all but Kane go mode when he went through there and decided, even though he had the hammer at that point, to just skip it for time interest.
Yeah.
So it was
Anybody
like,
find any other swords after Master?
no.
Huh.
And Silver's ended up on in the lumberjack.
Yep, I saw that right at the beginning, and then immediately saw the next bow on on the library. I was like, oh no, this is going to be miserable. Fortunately, boots were right there for you, so.
Sorry to interject, but we are getting word that West Side Vandal has unfortunately forfeited. He got 5 crystals at 140, and I guess he just had enough.
But
Gotcha.
still,
So,
That's
get
too
your
bad.
GGs.
Yeah, GG's West Side.
yeah, he spent a lot of time against Mothula. Ohado, I think you also got to know Mothula kind of well.
I did, and on the second fight, I was being a little reckless, but in the back of my mind, I wanted to use that red potion at some point, so it was a good time to use it, because I wanted to refill it with something to get magic in.
I just have an interesting information for you guys. So I was just told where the other 2 swords.
Oh no.
These 2 swords were insanely behind ice armors. Both.
Oh!
Nice.
That's
How
amazing.
rude is that? So that is the rude part of the seat.
There was a small part of me that almost kept going after getting the big key.
I was thinking about that, but I was like, no, come on, you can do that.
That's wild.
Yeah, Silver's on Lumberjack and 2 swords after the GT big key. Who is gonna pick those?
So we have West Side Vandal joining us too. GG's, sorry about that Mothula.
Yeah, that was bad. That was very bad. Also, the rest of it wasn't all that good either. But Yeah, that Mothula was just no.
GG's though. He
Yeah.
gave me a tough time too.
Yeah, basically this scene was just I made one kind of iffy decision to do Dark Room when I wasn't very comfortable with it, and then I just kept chasing bad with worse to try and make up for it.
Well, it's thanks to you that we found out where that cane of Samaria was.
Ha! Well, at least I did something. But yeah, I was at that point. I was just like, well, I mean, Nick, there could be something here. But yeah, it was not my best moment. Was basically the entire west part of Dark World, because I didn't have a very good time in Thieves Town either.
Yeah, so it looks like you're also doing Ice Palace now just to do it.
Yeah. I actually just kind of forfeited just because I didn't want to keep you guys waiting while I finished out here, especially because I'm still Master Sword Silverless, unless I want to go do Aga 1.
Well, I forget. Did you come in right before or right after Ravis told us where he just found out where the other two swords were?
Right before, or right after, excuse me.
Well,
So you wanna know since you forfeited or not? But I mean,
Yeah. My SRL points are already in the negative, so we'll just. And also, I'm about to die. I should probably pay attention.
So they're both behind the ice almost.
Wow. That's a thing.
That's a first.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
immediately
didn't-
after the big key too.
I did
Nice.
not confirm it, but so one other runner who finished, I don't know, 12th place or whatever, I don't know which one right now, told me which sword I had. And I was like, Master Sword. And I was like, yeah, he thought so because he had butter. And I was like, where did you get the other two swords? Well, they were next to each other. I kept going after the big key. I was like, oh, wow, amazing.
Nice. But yep, just glad I could play the goofus to Ravis's Gallant here.
well,
at
we
any
all
rate.
have good days. We all have bad days.
Indeed.
I mean, Blue Mail didn't show up until GT either, so you guys were all going on Green Mail and a relatively small number of hearts for most of the seed.
Wow.
Was it
This-
that late? I thought I had blue mail before GT. Still kind of late, but I don't remember where I thought I got it.
Oh, yeah, Alhado, you must have gotten it somewhere because I see you marked as red mail, but I don't know where the other upgrade was.
I'm trying to remember now. It was pretty late. Was it?
Yeah,
So
the
it might
only
have been
one I
the
saw was
wasn't
Random.
Renner.
the U room and Ice Palace, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, because, right, One Up and Ravis were both go-moding ice, so it could have been in there.
Yeah, I
Oh,
took a little extra time in Swamp and Ice just to check some things that were somewhat on the way. Hoping I would get like armor, a sword, or just anything to help out later.
Mr. Scrub
King.
Ninja Tuna just said in chat that Tower of Hera had a mail upgrade.
Oh, it was Hera.
Oh, it was Hera. Okay.
Book
Oh,
was
so if
an
I
IS.
kept going in there after I realized I had mismarked my tracker, I could have gotten a mail upgrade. Nice.
Wow. Okay. I guess I got it earlier than I thought I did.
But, I mean, you were all on Death Mountain pretty late in the game to begin with because of when the mirror showed up and where the hookshot was.
Yep.
Yeah, how about that hookshot location? I'm sure you guys have already talked about that in detail, but I actually was kind of on tilt from mismarking Hera, so I went into Hookshot Cave, and as I was entering Hookshot Cave, I was like, wait a minute. Well, I might as well do this chest while I'm here. I was not expecting that hookshot.
That was a pleasant surprise. I also just randomly fluted to Meyer Shed early as soon as I could and got the flippers, so I was pretty happy about that too.
I thought this
Yeah.
cave is named Hookshot Cave because the hookshot is always in there. Is that right?
No, it was a vanilla. Well,
Yeah,
Strange
Wes, I
place-
guess that was the other thing that you didn't go to Meyer as soon as the other runners, and
Yeah. Well, again, because I was just so bullheaded on trying to do Thieves and Skull that I was just like, I just ignored it until I literally had nothing else left to do, pretty much. But yeah, tilting at Thieves and Skull definitely kind of threw me off for the rest of the run.
All right. Anyways, guys, just want to say thank you. I'm a little bit hungry and also pretty tired. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the race, guys. Appreciate it, and looking forward to the next.
yeah, thanks for joining the restream.
Yep. Great
Good
race
game.
to all of you.
So, any final thoughts from our other runners? Otherwise, we're probably ready to wrap here.
All right, I got nothing. Thanks for letting me on, even after I explicitly warned the staff that this was probably going to happen. I'm an hour and 50 minutes in and still have one crystal to do. Master Sword Silverless. Although apparently that wasn't going to really change no matter what I did, because 2 swords in GT and silvers on Lumberjack. Yikes.
Right.
Well, you're getting in your practice for the league.
And as evidenced by this, I clearly need it. So, thanks for having me, guys.
Yep, good
No
game.
problem.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks again for the restream and for the race, everyone. It was great.
Yeah, thanks for the commentators and the trackers, all that. I appreciate it.
And yeah, thank you, chat, for joining us tonight. And please do give these runners a follow. You know, they're all like longtime players. Unfortunately, looks like the bot isn't working for giving links to their Twitches, so you'll have to go by their screen names. But yes, and they will all be participating in the Link to the Past Randomizer League, which is beginning in about a week and a half, and there'll be plenty of restreamed races on Speed Gaming from that. And in the meantime, we do have daily matches at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, in fact, we mentioned that Ambrosia setting. At 9 p.m. tomorrow, we will have an Ambrosia race. Again, we're trying to get in some of the modes that will be used in the league so that runners can get used to them. And for the 2 p.m., we actually have something kind of crazy. A hard seed 4-4 fast Ganon. So if you want to see something wild and crazy, check out the 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Sounds like a good time.
Yep.
And of course, in the meantime, do give the Speed Gaming family of networks a follow. We have Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 and a ton of programming on them. Let's see if there's anything coming up tonight. Looks like not much. This is about gonna do it for tonight's programming.
Yep. Still waiting for that
actually, Azure Dreams is kicking off on the main Speed Gaming channel at midnight. So if you're a night owl or on the West Coast, you can check that out. So yeah, I think that'll do it. Yoko, any... Oh, right, no, we have to thank the trackers,
Yeah.
who were really on top of it. MD doing their first time tracking, so GG's there, and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuner, who is a long-time tracker.
Right.
But GG's, and thanks to both of you. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Thanks, Yoko. Great working with you again.
Yep.
Maybe someday we'll get to do one of these without technical difficulties.
Right. That makes two. We had the one last night with the tracker issue. Tonight we had it with the restream issue.
Technical issues on a randomizer restream, that never happens. Never.
Absolutely
Not
not.
one bit.
No.
That was how we wound up not knowing where silvers were because the lumberjack check came during technical issues, so we never actually saw it.
Was I the only one that checked Lumberjack on restream?
I did too. Yeah.
We never
Okay.
saw. We were way behind.
Oh, okay. I was just like, because I'm not gonna lie. When I checked that, I was like, I think I'm one of the only people running that checks this early, so that might be information to file away. And then I got down to library and race game and went, okay, then never mind. So much for that info.
Yeah, so a few of you checked it, especially with those boots. But yeah, so thanks again, and I guess have a good night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice working with you again.